welcome.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you're having a wonderful night. Welcome to Become the Music, and my name is Gary. This is a special episode. This is me thanking you. I started this channel on July 5th of 2023. Today is August 4th. I uploaded a brief introduction video and didn't do anything else for about a week and a half, and I was planning some things, getting some equipment, that sort of thing, right? I started uploading reaction videos, I think it was July 11th or something like that. And so in roughly 3 weeks, I've had 2,500 subscribers and 9,000 hours of viewing time. And I don't know how many, I'm at 160,000 views or something in total on my channel. And that's just mind-blowing. I thought, I'm going to start this. It's just for fun because I like to explore new music and share some of my favorites and things like that. And I thought, maybe in a year or so I'll get 1,000 subscribers or something like that, right? And it's just blown up. It's been phenomenal, and I'm so deeply, humbly appreciative of that and honored that anybody would take the time to spend a little bit of their time with me, to talk about music, to hear about music, to share music, because it just brings everyone so much joy. And going forward, I had a lot of ideas for this channel, which reaction videos is one of them. Another one is cover songs, so me singing and playing some of my favorite music by other artists. Maybe I'm not that good, but it's a lot of fun. I've been a street musician on and off for many years. I've done a lot of time playing on the streets of Europe and things like that when I've been backpacking through Europe, and always really enjoy singing and playing for people. So, I'm going to get into that very soon. Also going forward, there will be things like album reviews, especially on the anniversary of albums that have meant a lot to me in my life and things like that. Artist deep dives, sharing things that have meant a lot to me over my lifetime that have brought me a lot of joy and a lot of meaning, and hopefully get people interested in some older music that maybe they've never heard before. My journey has been one of discovery in all forms of music. I started out really young listening to classic country from my parents, who listened to Chris Christopherson and Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard and that kind of thing. So that was my beginning. Then my older sister listened to the Beatles and Paul McCartney and T-Rex and things like that. So that brought a lot of pop love for good pop songwriting, And then back in the early 70s, my best friend had an older brother, and he was into the heavy rock back at that time. So I started listening to heavy rock in like 1973, 74, back when it was just beginning. So I remember one day we were there at my best friend's house, and we pulled out a copy of the album Master of Reality, Black Sabbath's third album. And I was about, 9 or 10 years old or something. This would have been about 1974. And we put that on, and it was like the skies opened, like I used to have a t-shirt that said Black Sabbath ruined my life, obviously being joking that they took me into this area that I really love, which is music. And from then it was Kiss and Led Zeppelin, and then the 80s came along, and it was Motorhead and Metallica and Megadeth and Venom and kind of the heaviest stuff I can find. All through that time, though, I've also listened to reggae and classical music and a lot of world music. When I was a kid, we had a big shortwave radio set in the living room, and I could get music from all over the world. I remember turning the channel and hearing music from Brazil and Russia and China and like all this stuff. And it was just fascinating to me that I could travel the world listening to music and get a sense of other people and other cultures and other beauty and other forms of human expression. And as I mentioned a minute ago, I've done a lot of backpacking, and I've spent about 2.5 years of my life backpacking around the world, mostly Europe, North Africa, a bit of the Caribbean, things like that. I lived in the Caribbean for a while. And something that I love to do when I go to a new country is I'll go into a music store and I'll ask the person there, I'll say, I'm looking for two things. I want the new heavy band that people from this country that people listen to. What's the exciting heavy music from this country? Give me some of that. And I also want to hear what your grandparents listen to. So I want like the traditional music of a country and the modern stuff. And so that's why you'll see on my channel, I've got, Dimash Kudaibergen and things like that, Marcelito Pomoy from the Philippines, excuse my pronunciation there for a second, coupled with, Slaughter to Prevail and the newer metal bands that are coming out. Because that's, to me, those are like, two dichotomies of expression, this beautiful music from other areas, and then aggressive, really fun, cathartic release. And so, that's kind of the thing about starting this channel was I thought, I can really dive into a lot of music and have fun sharing my exploration with people. So that's one of the reasons I started this. The reason I started this channel on July 5th was the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of a very important day. And you may have heard me talk about the band Phish, Phish. They are a band from Vermont in the United States. They're an improvisational rock group. And they're by far my favorite band. And I've seen them 30 times now, 32 times, something like that. I'd have to look at my stats. There's people that have seen this band 700 times, which you might think is really extreme, but when you recognize what they do, which is improvisation and playing a different set list every night and always changing things up and keeping things fresh and surprising over 40 years. So my first show was July 5th, 1998 in Prague in the Czech Republic. And I had never heard that band before. I'd heard of them, but never heard their music. And I was in Switzerland and I saw a poster that Phish was touring Europe. And I thought, I'm going to jump a train to Prague and just check these guys out. So I went up there and I got a job in a youth hostel for a month in the summer in Prague. And a couple days before the show, all these Phish fans started piling in who were touring Europe, following every Phish show. And I'm like, who would see a band so many, you just saw them last night or, whatever, right? And so I went to these shows. They played 2 nights and I walked in and no idea what to expect. I had no idea what they sounded like and people were just going nuts. They're playing a small club, and unknown to me at that time, Phish was playing festivals and headlining huge arenas in Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. This isn't, 1998, right? I had no idea they were that big, and here we are in a small club with like 800 people in Prague, the Lucerna Theater, Lucerna Music Hall. And it was just life-changing. I'd never seen anything like it. The energy, the musicianship, the fun, the sense of community, it's just mind-blowing. And so I thought, if I launch a music channel, I'm going to do it on July 5th. And so that's what I did. That was to mark my anniversary of Phish. And now here we are. Tomorrow is a one month anniversary of this channel. And I wanted to make a short video just to talk a little bit about my music history and to thank you, YouTube viewers, for joining me and making this channel what it is. I mean, it's only a month old. I've got over 2,500 subscribers, almost 9,000 hours of viewing time. And it's been marvelous. It's been a really, really wonderful journey. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. A little bit more about myself. Obviously, I'm a musician. You can see all the guitars around me. I played in bands for many years. I was a street musician, as I said also. Now I just play for fun, and so I'd like to play for you at some point. So I will do that. I will upload myself playing some Bob Marley and Neil Young and Tragically Hip and Led Zeppelin and things like that, right? So anyways, just a few minutes from me to you, and I hope you'll continue to join me as we explore the wondrous music that makes up this world. So thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Take care.